Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the latest status of business and inventory update. Let's get started right now. Hey folks, Todd at Freedom Fighter Tactical. Welcome to the channel. Today I'm sitting outside for the first time in a few days. I've had a bad cold, and despite that, I've gotten the packing and shipping done. For the most part, I've been able to answer the phone and help you guys out, but it's been kind of a tricky week because I've been fighting a terrible little cold that has entered our house. Anyway, what's going on here at Freedom Fighter Tactical? Oh, and I've got a new camera, so we're going to try this new camera. I'm going to try to start getting outside of the office some and recording even when I'm out and about, so that I can do content, whatever I'm thinking about it. So what's going on at Freedom Fighter Tactical? Okay, collapsible stocks. The new collapsible stock that we're working on, the skeletonized portion that is 922R compliant, made here in California. I thought we would be close. The last couple of videos I made it sound like we would be maybe end of July, maybe sometime during August. And it still might be sometime during August. But one of the procedures that I have in my chain of procedures in getting this product done is going to take about a month. And so I took some product in on July 23rd, so they're quoting me August 23rd. And so once that happens, if they're available then, or if they're available sooner, or unfortunately if they're available later, at that point then they go to coating. I expect coating to be rather quick, and then they go to laser marking, which I also expect to be pretty quick. So August is possible, although it's kind of tight with the 23rd being the third to last procedure in the mix. So we'll just see. But I would say definitely in September we're going to have our collapsible stocks finally releasing. Flashlight mounts, we're waiting on one part. It's the only part left, and everything else is finished. And those could be any day. In fact, I was really shocked. I think there was a miscommunication with the guys doing the work about how soon I needed that part to get finished. So at a point where I thought it was being finished, I thought I would have them, and it ended up they weren't even working on them yet. So there was a miscommunication. I don't care where it happened. None of that concerns me. We got it back on track, and they should be any day now. We have Benelli OEM collapsible stocks. We have both the European version and the American version right now. A lot of great things going on here at Freedom Fighter Tactical with the flashlight mount, with the collapsible stock, with the flashlight mount. Oh, and I actually just thought of a couple other things too that I hadn't even thought of when I turned the camera on. With the flashlight mount, one of the things that was offered on previous versions of the flashlight mount from Impact was a Scout Pro interface, so that if you have the Scout Pro, you can attach the interface to your flashlight mount where the rail would go, and allow that Scout to hook on there properly without use of the rail. And that was a separate and distinct part that I think was one of the hardships of ordering that part when I look back on it, that if you wanted a flashlight mount, if you weren't well versed on all the parts, and I actually sold the stuff, and I feel like I'm learning stuff even after I haven't had access to it in a year and a half. But there was the Scout, which was basically the 1913 without the rail, and I don't know why it wouldn't just be you get the 1913, and then if you don't use the rail, you don't use the rail. That's how I would have packaged the product. And my version of this, that's how it's going to be. Everybody will get the rail, and everybody will get, so they can choose the rail or choose not to use the rail. Additionally, there was a separate piece called the Scout Pro interface, and I never knew about this part until I couldn't buy it anymore. I wasn't made aware of it, and we're having that done, and it's going to be part of the kit. So there will be a flashlight mounting kit where you get everything you need for all the options that have traditionally been offered on this with these flashlight mounts. So we've got that in production as well. I've got the, there's been a bunch of guys that have been waiting for the NP3 coated 70054V, which is the vintage version of the follower. I did them in a charcoal anodize, but I did not do them in NP3. So those are coming in NP3. And by the way, there will be MP3 stocks that will be 2 to 3 months, collapsible stocks 2 to 3 months after the black are released. There will be flashlight mounts 2 to 3 months after the flashlight mounts are released. I should have MP3 parts there. We have 2 different collapsible stock QD mounts available. I don't have them in NP3 right now. They're only in black, and they're on the website currently. But I will get those done in NP3 as well, because I know a lot of you guys are like me. You love MP3 and you want MP3 stuff. One of the hardships of being outside is the bees. They like to come around and see what's up. So the distractions are going to be different if I'm ever sitting outside or walking outside. I'm going to take this little camera. This is called a DJI Osmo. I think it's called the Osmo Mini 3 or something like that. And it's a camera on a gimbal that does 4K, and you can walk with it, and it gives you a nice smooth picture without the bounce, and it's great. And I picked this up this week because I don't always want to be in my office to film. If I have to set aside time in my office to film. I have to have the house has to be empty, and people can't be around, and I can't be distracted. And this allows me a little bit of flexibility to make you all content. So there's the Pro. So all that's going to be in NP3. Limbsaver butt pads for the collapsible stock. There's a write-up on the internet about how to modify a 10403 for a collapsible stock that requires some measuring out and some drilling and stuff. And there's a lot of guys that don't want to have to do that for various reasons. They might not have the skills. They might not have the tools. They might not have the the knowledge or the comfort level to just do it. And by the way, if your comfort level is such that you don't do it, just find the comfort level to get started and do it. If you ruin a piece, it's $59. Get a new one and try again. It's not the end of the world. I talk in my videos about learning to work on guns with this gun. It's a great gun to work on, and if you need to build skills, making adjustments to parts or fitting parts or maintaining a gun, this is a great gun to learn on, because the parts that you might have to adjust or fit or whatever, they don't tend to be expensive parts or parts that are hard to locate. So, but in any event, I've been in touch with someone high up at Limbsaver, and they're excited to do this project with me, to do a design that basically incorporates what the guys are doing online, so that you don't have to do it, and that it's done by Limbsaver, and it's warranted by Limbsaver, and it's they've tested it and they can stand behind it, and there's technology that goes into their gel pads, and there's a void. Like, I was learning a little bit about the technology that goes into how they structure the pad and the polymer piece that it's glued to, and how just the overall how they a little bit of the science behind reducing recoil and reducing the what you feel, and that pad working the way it should. And so they're excited to do it. They operate on big numbers. They like to see big numbers. I think doing it for the Benelli M4 originally was kind of a dice roll maybe for them. They didn't say that, but Benelli M4s, there's tons of them out there, but it's not the same kind of numbers that you find in Remington and Mossberg. And so, doing them for Remington and Mossberg and other guns that, are less expensive and that everybody has in their arsenal, is a no-brainer. And doing them for guns like the Benelli M4 is a little more of a numbers game, and you got to wonder, okay, is this going to be worth it in the long run? And I think that's one of the reasons why Benelli's been underserved for many years anyway, is just because are the numbers really there for some of this stuff. And then when you go from traditional stocks, like a traditional pistol grip stock that's on almost every Benelli M4, to the field stock, which their current 10403 is designed for, those are going to be the guns that have the most interest in their 10403 Limbsaver stock. You go to the collapsible stock, there's less people doing the collapsible stock. There's less people. And then when you think about how many people do the collapsible stock, not everyone's going to get the Limbsaver. Not everyone wants the Limbsaver. Not everyone's going to want to spend the money on the Limbsaver. So, you know, if the collapsible stock market is 10% of the regular stock market, and then of that 10%, you know, only 60% is going to be interested in replacing that pad, you're talking about a very small market. So there's a couple of ways that we're going to go about doing this. Or trying it out and testing the market to see if there's enough interest. I think there will be enough interest, particularly that we're going to have a collapsible stock to offer. I'm just going to put the Limbsaver pad on every stock at some point when that's developed. And for those of you who buy the collapsible stock early on, you'll be getting a Benelli butt pad, but you'll have the option to buy later because I'll sell the Limbsaver separately. So guys who already have a collapsible stock who want the Limbsaver butt pad can buy just the butt pad if they'd like. So that's in the works. So that's pretty exciting. Things that we're getting short on, NP3 trigger kits. I'm hoping to have a new batch of triggers soon. And if that's the case, the black will be coming out much faster than the NP3. We're getting low on many of our recoil tubes. Our magazine tubes are getting low. With all the news that's been going on in the world today, there's been, you know, I think people are buying guns not quite the way they were when COVID got started, but it's happening. And I think as we get to November, the news cycle is going to just get nuttier and nuttier, and the interest in kind of arming up and making sure you have something if the trucks stop running and, you know, the world starts falling all around us, you know, that we have something to help protect our homes with. I think we're going to see a major push on everybody fixing up their gun at the same time. So those of you who have the foresight to get your stuff together now, whether it's fixing up your gun, buying water, toilet paper, wipes, you know, canned goods, whatever, ammo, you're doing yourself a big favor by doing it now. You wait until everyone's scrambling. You know, when COVID happened, my phone was ringing so much that I had to stop answering it all day because I couldn't fill the orders quick enough. And things were selling out. And something like recoil tubes would show up. And they would, I mean, you know, 100 recoil tubes would sell out in a minute or two. And people would be fighting mad that they didn't get one. I mean, it's like anything, right? You know, when gasoline is in short supply, there's people fighting over who has access to the pump. When there's not food, people are fighting over where they are in line on the bread line. Same thing with gun parts. You know, if people want what they want, but if they wait until the push and they wait until things are scarce and things are nutty and everyone's scrambling, the music only plays so long, and then there's a lot of people left out in the cold. So the best thing to do is just, you know, see what's going on, and, you know, as you can take care of the things that you need to take care of, including fixing up your gun, you know, get started on it now and focus on the parts that tend to have pressure. Stocks, collapsible stocks, magazine tubes, recoil tubes, oversized bolt release button, the flashlight mount when we get that out. You know, we had it when COVID was going on, we had a huge run on the Mesa stocks, and Mesa couldn't make them fast enough. I mean, people wanted them so quickly, and you know, I actually think the Mesa stock is an incredible bargain because the amount of work that goes into putting one stock out there with all the hardware and all the pieces coming from all the different places, and it's still like $150. I mean, it is an incredible bargain. I could see that thing costing $300 easily because of all that goes into that. So you have a lot of choices, and but even stuff like things that we take for granted, like it's always there, the Mesa stocks. No, they're not always there. Side saddles, the 8 and the 6 round side saddles. I remember you guys during COVID, you couldn't get them. I mean, I was having to order them by the hundreds just to make sure I had enough that by the time I got some, I wouldn't just be sold out. I never order side saddles by the hundreds, truckee forends by the hundreds during COVID. You know, you put in an order for 400 or 500 8-inch truckee forends. I mean, it's insane. That was COVID, okay? Depending on what goes on in this country, we may be faced with something similar or even more crazy than that. So even if it wasn't the news cycle that it is, it's always best just to have stuff you need and always be ready. I think that's a good thing. And always be prepared and always be thinking and being ready for the next thing they throw at us, because they do throw things at us. I hope you all enjoyed this video, an outside video, to mix it up a little bit. I don't know how the sound is. I'll see when I edit it. I'm going to use it no matter what. But I appreciate you all being with me. I hope that this little camera will allow me to create much more content than I've currently been creating. And if you haven't noticed, on Instagram and YouTube and even TikTok, which I don't really have any followers there, but I'm putting content out. I'm trying to do about daily, at least a 1-minute video. And right now, all the content has been the same on all 3 platforms on a daily basis. It's been the same. So if I do a 1-minute video, say talking about the Trigger Essentials kit, all 3 platforms get that same video. So there's no real incentive for you to follow me in all 3 places as long as I'm doing that. So the goal is going to be to have a different video posting on each platform on a daily basis. You know, even if it's just a little 1 minute, here's some thoughts, here's a new part, here's an update on a part, here's a question someone threw at me. So you have a reason to tune in the various places if you're interested in what I have to offer, you know, as far as video content. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate you all. Thanks for all the kind comments on the recent videos. We've had a lot of great comments lately come through, and I appreciate you all. First responders out there, you know, hats off to all you guys working the streets in this country, whether you're police, fire, or medical. You know, I greatly appreciate you all. And, you know, I love all you mail carriers out there who take my packages everywhere. United States Postal Service. You know, I've shipped probably over 100,000 packages with these guys over the years, and they've maybe lost 13 or 14 packages. It's a hell of a track record. It doesn't mean we haven't had a couple hundred scares all these years, but even if those scares had turned out to be really lost packages, a couple hundred packages out of over 100,000 packages, it's an incredible track record. So, you know, and every carrier is going to lose something from time to time, and every carrier is going to have its scares. But all you postal people out there, thank you so much for your hard work and dedication, especially you guys out there who actually care about what you're doing, and you're very helpful. All the people I deal with at the local post office here in Orange County, they're just fabulous. I mean, they're absolutely fabulous. But occasionally there's the guy or the girl that you can tell they're just a drone. They don't care. They're just there. And it's a shame that some people get to that way, but you know what? We appreciate you too, even if that's kind of your mindset when you do your job. Military, love our military. All you out there. You know, one of the things that I thought about, I don't want to get all into a whole Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania scene, but I was really impressed by how people didn't scurry away when the gunshots rang out. Instead, people were concerned about the safety of the president, the safety of the people around them. There was no mass panic, people getting trampled. I also thought it was very interesting, and I could be completely wrong here, but if you watch the videos and you watch the crowd, there's a lot of men there that aren't ducking down at all. They're standing straight up, watching what's going on with their cameras or not, trying to get a read on what's going on. I thought to myself, I wonder how many of those guys are retired warriors from our beloved military. I mean, just showing no fear and standing up to the terror that was being dished out that day. And I just love people like that. I do. And I love our warriors in this country. I love, you know, the kind of men that you become from, and women, from the service, from the training that you've got, and the service that you gave this country, and the risk that you endured and that your family endured having you do what you did. And those of you who are active today, of course, for what you're doing now. I think it's an incredible thing, and I am forever grateful. But I thought as I watched that at Butler, I think we're in the midst of a bunch of warriors here. All these guys that didn't crouch down and hide behind someone else, hide behind the podium, hide behind a wall or a chair or whatever. I mean, you had fearless people standing up and pointing and trying to figure out what the heck was going on. And I just thought that was incredible, personally. I really, a lot of brave, strong people in that crowd, and something to be proud of. Anyway, have a great weekend, folks, coming up. 20-minute video. Thanks for sticking around with me as I tested this camera and chatted with you today. I hope you all have a great one. You know where to find me. Phone number's on the website. You can text. You can call me at that number. Text blurb at the bottom of the website. The contact page, you can email me. I'm available every day of the year. How I respond to you might be different than how you reached out to me, but I am available every day of the year. You're going to hear back from me one way or the next. If you contact me and have questions, we're going to help you out in any way we can. Hey, take care. Have a great weekend. Talk to you in the next video.